I need to.
Got it.
So loud.
I'm recording too.
So here's the deal. Once upon a time,
Yeah.
some reason I can't make anybody co-host.
Ooh, once upon a time.
I can make you host.
Mm.
Do you need to be co-host to do what you're doing?
Am I host right now? Because I'm able to share.
You're sharing, yeah.
Perfect. That's
Okay.
all I need.
Okay, good. Let's go. We don't have to worry about it right now.
Okay. Welcome back to the Real Impact Show.
Maybe we should start over. Why
I'll
don't
do.
we play the rest of this?
I'm gonna do a little clip. Like, hey, this is the beginning, or whatever. What did Biden say about housing, or what did Biden say about our commissions? All right, and then I'm gonna say, welcome back. And I'm gonna do my music. Okay. What did Biden say about real estate commissions this week? Welcome back to the Real Impact Show. I am Aaron Zapata, one of your co-hosts. Joined with me, joining is
Don Jacks, as always.
this is the first time we've recorded the intro, apparently.
First
So
time on Zoom, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're glad
that's
you're
right.
here.
Yeah, thanks for watching and for listening. If you're on our YouTube channel, like it, share it, subscribe, and comment. If you're listening to it on the podcast, also like it and leave us a 5-star review because we love them 5-star reviews. We're going to get right into it. This whole commission thing. Now, remember, this is for our audience as realtors, right? Right, Don?
Yes, for this
Right.
conversation, especially. Yes.
Well, our conversations are always for realtors, but we know the public's listening in because this is a public broadcast.
Mostly for realtors. Yes.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right. And so we're going to start off with this comment that President Joe Biden made. And he actually made it 6 days ago or so, in the time we're recording this. And it just got published in a number of places. And I heard about it yesterday on Twitter. And so I'm just going to play it for us. And then we're just going to spend some time unpacking it. Why? Because if you're a realtor, you need to know this stuff. You need to know what our president is saying. You need to know what our National Association of Realtors president is responding with. You need to know what your neighbors are hearing. I get all the questions. So let's just play. Without further ado, here is President Joe Biden.
In addition, last week, the National Association of Realtors agreed for the first time that Americans can negotiate lower commissions when they buy or sell their home.
Okay. No offense.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Let All right, everybody watching this. This is the second time in the last 30 seconds I've seen this clip. I've never seen this clip. I am out of my mind with this clip right now. Our president just said that for the first time, for the first time ever, buyers and sellers can negotiate their commissions with us now.
For the first
Congratulations.
time.
I'm sorry, sarcasm
For
just
the first
all
time.
over this. For the first time, we can finally not that it was always negotiable, not that we all
No.
sign contracts saying the such, not that it's discussed on most of our, if not all of our appointments. And the president says for the first time, we can do that. I'm sure there's more of it. I don't want to be a clip guy. I don't want to be let's take that and paint the president in a bad way. He doesn't need our help for that. Is there more to this clip, Aaron, that I
There
haven't
is more.
seen?
He
Okay.
goes on to a 5-minute discussion. Well, he's just talking about himself. So it's a 5-minute speech on
Monologue.
Thank you. Affordable housing, on how he's doing all these things to help home buyers and sellers save money. And in fact, they're eliminating title insurance requirements on FHA refinances. So when you refi, you don't need a new title policy. So they're eliminating some other fees to the tune of hundreds of dollars a year. I mean, some of these are big fees. And then he goes on. I will say he goes on, and you should listen to the whole clip. He goes on to encourage realtors to now do what they're said they're going to do and lower their commissions. And he anticipates that homeowners will on average save $10,000 per sale moving forward. Yeah.
So your President Biden
Mm.
said that on average, he's expecting that
Realtor commissions drop.
by $10,000 per transaction.
Yeah.
Meaning 5,000 aside.
Well, let's just do 10,000 side, or well, because really it's meant to. I guess you could do 5,000 per side. Let's to be fair, 5,000 per side.
Right, right.
But what's the average sale price nationwide? Do we
What
know?
I hear this morning, 412,000,
Okay,
420.
so 412,000.
Right.
Okay, let's assume that the average commission per side is 3%, because apparently up until last week, it was not negotiable and it was going to be 6%. So
Never has been.
Never has been. So we have to use that
Correct.
3%. Okay, so 412, you said?
412. I believe that's what I heard just this morning. Yes.
All right, well, let's use that number.
Okay.
412
I mean, we can call it what, $12,000, 3%,
times
round it off.
It is $12,360.
Okay.
Okay, so he wants that to drop by 5,000. Okay. So what is 5,000 divided by 2,000, 12,360? Doing the math while we're live.
In case you were wondering, this is a live show.
Which is a decrease in agent commission by 40%.
40%.
So taking 5,000, divide that by 12,360, that is a decrease in commissions by 40%. So here is my take. I don't know, man. I don't know where to start.
Yes, you do. Come on.
Okay. So first of all, realtors are independent contractors.
And commissions are 100% negotiable. They always have been.
Yeah, I should start there.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's start there. We're not lawyers. We're not your broker.
Right.
Check with your lawyer. Check with your broker, of course.
Right.
Yes.
But there is a paragraph in the California listing agreement that states that broker commissions are not fixed by law. In fact, they are negotiable by law.
Yes.
So in California,
Well,
we have been
speak
negotiating commissions for years.
for
I wonder
years.
if Joe Biden has always paid 6% on every home he's purchased or sold. I just want to know. I mean, 100%.
Would you like to make a bet? Would you like to make a bet?
Public requisitions information request, please.
Yes.
I'd like to see every purchase agreement that listing agreement that President Joe Biden has signed. Make sure he's paid his full 6%. So we're independent contractors. Okay. So let's just start with that. We have to pay our own share of taxes and the employer's taxes.
That's
so, so we actually have about 10% more taxes due out of our checks because we don't have an employer paying into disability, Social Security, anything like that. So we're already at a disadvantage when it comes to 1099 employees. And this is the same for all 1099 employees. We're not W-2.
That's right.
And in a W-2, you have an employment contribution, an employee, and an employer. We have to pay that on our own because we're 1099. Plus, we owe a broker money, anywhere from a flat fee of $500 to 50% in some cases.
That's
if you're on a team, like you're an agent, you know, like you're doing the math. Okay, you're an agent, you're doing the math. And you're like, wait a minute, he wants me to take a 40% pay cut and still pay all the taxes and still pay my broker or my team leader. And I'm left with like 25 cents on the dollar. Because apparently we were never able to negotiate commissions before.
We're not able to negotiate. And Aaron, you've been a broker, owner of Impact Realty Group for over a decade now.
Long time.
Long time. Long time. From
Did you write that down? Long time, because you're taking notes. Did you write long time?
I didn't write that down. No. How many properties does an agent on average sell a year?
Well, the average agent sells 4 per year.
4 per year. Okay, cool.
But that's the average.
That's the average. So there's fewer and there's more, but the average.
Yeah. But half of the agents in any given area, like here in Southern California, of 15,000 in like our association, half of those closed none. So the other half closed on average 8 per deal.
Well said.
Per year. So,
And
those half draw the number in half, but realistically, if you're full time working in real estate, the average is about 8 per year.
okay, all right. And now with all of this, our president is letting us know that 40% of the income that comes with those 40% of the income that comes with that. And it's not about us, it's about the consumer, right? But we are talking to agents, and this is how many of us make a living, have
Yeah.
raised families, and will continue to do so.
Yeah.
40% of that income goes away automatically based on the new changes for how many people in real estate?
Well, they say the number's declining this year because of the
As it
stuff.
probably should because of all this, sure.
Should we say 1.2? Or are we still at
1.2.
1.6?
We were 1.6 as of last count, with averages of what, 50,000 to 600,000 being out of the industry in the next 12 months being talked about.
Let's use 1.2.
And a million is just such a
1.4.
round number,
A
but
million.
1.2 is
Okay.
prob, 1.2
Do I
is
hear
probably
900,000?
realistic, right? And we might be. I heard someone tell us that we could probably do the job with 600,000.
We probably could.
I hope we don't really find that out. But we'll see what happens here.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
I just think it's incredibly sad that the leader of our country would come out and blatantly say something that is just inaccurate. And in fact, the National Association of Realtors basically had to issue a statement. And in his statement, he said, and I'll summarize, hey, White House, Biden administration, we're thankful for your attention to affordable housing. We definitely have a housing crisis when it comes to affordability in our country, but you're inaccurate when you said that commissions for the first time are negotiable. And he states in his statement that they have always been negotiable because it's always been our stance that you have a right to negotiate.
That's right.
It's a free market.
That's right. That's how this
I
works.
have the ability to negotiate against even Mr. Don Jacks, even though we're in the same company.
That's right.
I can go in and I can say, I know Don's a great guy, but I'm going to save you $10,000 and I'm going to do it for less. I could do that today. I could have done it yesterday. I could have done it 3 years ago. And they could have said, well, Mr. Aaron, we thank you for the offer, but Don's worth 10,000 more. We're going to hire him. And that's what happens in real estate is we have discount brokers. We've always had discount brokers.
That's right.
But yet they're not the leading brands.
Never
they don't
have been.
get most of the business. Because if you're an agent and you're listening to this, you realize that your time is valuable, but you're not just paid for your time. You're paid for the value you deliver.
That's right. Value you bring to the hour is what you're paid for.
All agents are not created equal.
And whether that was just a happy accident or not, isn't that going to be really shown and proven through all of this? Right?
Mhm.
Not all agents will survive this, and the really, really good, solid agents will be the ones standing as always.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I think it's
Well,
time.
and as I'm looking, like I saw this on Twitter, so clearly this is going to make the rounds. You know, we've mentioned it now. It's on a lot of different news channels, and the people's comments are mixed. Some are like, of course, realtors who have been in the business for a long time are like, come on, really? You're going to say that? Everybody knows it's not true. But then there's those who maybe thought it wasn't negotiable, and now they've learned something. Hey, guys, listeners, homeowners, buyers, commissions are negotiable. It's not a surprise. The best agents will get paid for what they're worth.
What they're worth. And here, sarcasm aside, I hope everybody saw through our dripping sarcasm. Not all agents are created equal. And for at least the 30 years I've been involved in the real estate industry, I'm imagining the same 28-ish for you. Commissions have been negotiable. Now, we can only speak about the state of California legally. I don't know about the other states. I have a sneaking suspicion that they've been negotiable in all 50 states for as long as we've been in the business. And for that to be coming out of the mouth of our leader is sad, and somebody's got to say it and make sure that everybody understands our commission is only if and when you're satisfied. You get the property you're looking for. The job is done. This whole thing has made us first and foremost in a commission that Aaron, it needs to be talked about. We need to understand it. It's okay if the buyers paid their side of the commission. That's something that we can all understand. But we need to make sure the consumer is taken care of at the end of the day. And I just want to make sure that that's what everybody that we talk to is focused on, not us getting paid. We'll figure that part out. I don't know how this is all gonna uh work itself out. But we need to make sure our consumers are taken care of above and beyond, and we'll always do that. We'll figure the rest of it out.
It's true. And I think offering clarity to potential clients that ask you about this is the best you can do. Honestly, anybody listening to this should just fast forward to the end and discard everything, because we're not in your specific shoes. We're not
That's
in
right.
your conversation with your client. Just today, calling my insurance guy, asking a question about a separate degree, separate title, separate topic altogether. And he's like, "Hey, I've been hearing about these things. What's going on?" That's a very customized conversation that I'm having with Frank, my
Mhm.
insurance guy. It doesn't apply to anybody else other than me and Frank, because me and Frank have a relationship, and we have candor, and we have rapport, and we're able to talk about it. And I can tell him the ins and outs and how it's affecting California, or what my thoughts are about how it's going to affect California. So, we're not giving advice to anybody, but value comes in providing solutions. Every conversation I've had lately, it seems people are bringing this up. So what's going on with these commission lawsuits? What's going on with this commission? What's going on? From my dad to, excuse me, to my fellow parents on my son's mountain biking team, to my insurance agent,
Yeah.
to people at my church, everywhere. It's the conversation. So for me to get paid as a realtor, it's not to calculate my time and to punch a time clock. It's to have solutions and have answers to their questions.
It's a great point. It's which is different for everybody that you're going to talk to, as you're saying. So one blanket answer isn't right at all for everybody. And quite frankly, if I can say, I don't think everybody cares about the answer at the same
They don't.
level,
They
right?
don't.
They really don't. It's I hate to say it, it's a news cycle. Um, it's something to talk about if and when you're buying or selling real estate. But what did we just talk about? 5%? 5% of all the houses are going to go on the market this year
Mm-hmm.
and sell. The rest of them, 95%.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't.
It's
So
the
that
same
means,
question. And it's the same script that we've been taught. How's the market?
how's the market? That's exactly it.
It depends. Are you
You know,
buying or selling?
interesting things going on. It depends. Are you buying, selling, investing, or renting a property right now?
Exactly. Because it all
Yeah.
makes a difference.
It really is. It's funny. And then you have to have an answer. You have to be able to talk about it to those who really need to know about it. You need here's the best piece of advice, Aaron. I've heard the opposite a couple times. I've heard people say, I've read the 108-page settlement, so you don't have to. Here's my answer. I've read the 108-page settlement, so should you.
Mm.
Right? You should really know what's going on with this. You should understand that at the crux of it, three things are really happening, right? As far as we understand it, there's no more commission going to be listed in the MLS.
Everywhere else, but not in the MLS.
Nothing per the affiliated with the MLS. Can't aggregate them all and put them in another website. Put them on your website. Put them on your signs, I guess, or on your flyers or in anywhere else, just not on the
Mm-hmm.
MLS.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, some of these states, you've already been doing this, but you need a buyer broker agreement. You need a contract between the broker and the buyer, 1 day, 1 year, $1 or something else, all
And I've changed my
negotiable.
opinion on that. I used to be opposed to the buyer broker agreement.
Yep.
I personally was. I thought it kind of gives you an excuse if you're a realtor to be a lazy realtor because you're not earning the business. You've got a signature in on a black and white piece of paper, and you can just kind of relax. But yet, listing agents don't have that freedom either. So I was just not applying the same logic to the buyer side, and I
That's
realized that
interesting.
there is like great reason to know that you're going to work for somebody and that somebody's going to be compensating you for that work. It actually has changed my mind a lot.
I
Uh,
love
I,
that.
I even told my broker with Real, I says, I'm not a big fan. I was honest. I wasn't a big fan, but that was like 2 months ago. And now that it's being mandated nationwide, if the settlement gets approved and we're all working by the same rules, that's great. No more confusion.
I have to do it. He doesn't know we're gonna have rule breakers. And one of my coaches I work with really brought this up. But there's rule breakers now. I mean, people across the country say we've been signing these things for years. We've had to. And I asked the follow-up question. So do you sign them at your first meeting or right before you write an offer?
Yeah.
Don't lie. And
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
everybody but one says I sign them before the first offer, not
But yeah, I got a text from a
funding.
client buyer and saying, "Hey, we were out looking at properties with another broker. Do we send them to you? Do we send the properties to you if we like them? How does this work?" And I'm like, the blood from my face. I just hit my microphone, hurt my hand. Um, the blood just kind of dropped. My face was gone. I'm like, oh no, like they really didn't. I didn't do a good job explaining how this works.
Yes.
So I got
Yes.
on a phone call with them. I'm like, hey guys, this is how it works. You don't go out looking at properties with another broker. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to you because now you've created confusion. And here's the way it works. I had to have a clarifying conversation with a
Aaron,
buyer
we have,
agreement.
yes.
That ain't happening. That conversation's up front, signed in writing. This is the way it works.
Aaron, I want to share with you our Impact Properties buyer specific guide to success that we have that walks your buyers by through the process one step at a time. Um, sorry, everybody, that was just between Aaron and I. We need to have solid buyer presentations as solid as our listing presentations right now, right? We absolutely do. We
Yes.
probably always needed to.
Yes.
You absolutely do now. There's no room for mediocre, flying by the seat of your pants, buyer consult presentation relationships anymore. We need to step up and level up for our clients. They
Absolutely.
deserve better.
Yeah. So they all deserve good representation. And
Absolutely.
that is what is coming out of this that is a
The best
great,
thing coming out of this,
yeah,
yes.
is that there's going to be very clearly defined representation.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
all the money flow is going to be exactly the same. We're just going to have different paperwork saying it's different.
I
That's my
think
opinion.
so. And
But
and quite frankly, what we're learning, people aren't afraid to pay for good representation.
that's true.
People don't want to pay for door openers. People don't want to pay for somebody who's just walking through the paces. You got to learn, you got to educate, you got to protect me,
Mhm.
you got to do your job, and we'll be happy to pay for that.
Yeah.
And
There's
yeah,
somebody's going to comment on this video saying, why wouldn't I just hire an attorney and pay him $1,000? Okay. If you reduced the value of a realtor to the hourly wage, I guarantee you there are realtors out there that will sign up for that. I'm not one of them.
100%. That's right.
I get
That's
paid
right.
to deliver results and I get paid by the hour. And I think that's a hard transition for a lot of realtors.
It's
If
going to be.
Yeah. Don, you and I have trained hundreds of agents. And one of the hardest things we have to, work out of a mentality for an agent is that they're paid for their time.
That's right.
Like if they're $75 or $100 an hour at their other job, you like average it all out. And then they come into real estate and they're like, wow, I just made $8,000 after paying my broker for a deal. And I only worked, 100 hours on it or 50 hours on it. That's like $160 an hour. I feel guilty. Well, you delivered a result. You're not paid by the hour anymore. But there are going to be those agents that love this new model because they can charge for the hour.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
plenty of them, and new models will keep building.
Yeah.
You're making me think about it. I don't know if it was a joke or a story about the dentist who met with a man and decided that this tooth needed to be pulled, and he told the man, I'm going to need to pull this tooth because of the pain. How much is it going to cost, doc? It's going to cost $300." And he says, $300? How long is it going to take? It's going to take about 15, 20 minutes. $300 for 20 minutes of work. And then, of course, the dentist looks at him and says, I can make it take an hour and a half if you would like.
And do
No,
you?
no, it's fine. Yank that bad boy right out of here as
I like that
quickly.
analogy.
Yeah,
I like that
right. I
analogy.
mean, it's the result we're looking for, not the money we're paying. And I believe our clients are looking for the right thing, unless you need someone to sign the contract and you're going to handle it all. It will be a what do we call that? An a la carte menu of services.
Yeah.
And we've seen, you and I have talked about other companies that actually, again, nothing new. The
Yeah.
idea's been out there. It's just more public now. There's always been spots for professional representation, and there's always been the the budget way to go.
Always. Always.
And this will be no
Yeah,
different.
wise.
The
Yeah.
cream will rise to the top. If you provide a service worth paying for, those will pay for it, and if you don't, they won't.
Mm-hmm.
And welcome to the United States. Welcome to capitalism. Welcome to real estate. We will adjust. I heard that again today. Whether it was, gosh, so many of the real estate agents across the country that have pivoted because of natural disasters or because of COVID, during COVID, how so many of us were part of the solution of, right, video walkthroughs and COVID safe showings and selling people's
Mm-hmm.
homes to, we adjust. We'll figure this out. If we keep our clients first, we serve our clients. There's always a place for us to make a living, thrive, deliver service on a high level, the rest of this stuff. The buyer broker agreement, the commission not being on the MLS, those two things. I never mentioned the third thing, by the way. The buyer might end up paying more commission.
Yep.
The buyer
Gonna
instead
happen.
of the seller, it's going to happen. Regardless how
Will.
we chop it up, it's going to happen more often.
It will.
Um,
100%. Gonna
so
happen.
so so buyers, buckle up, talk to your agents, figure out what that means. Unfortunately, through all of this, your closing costs just got more expensive to buy a house.
Mhm.
That's really
Sure
at
did.
the end of the day what happened with this. We need to tell you what that means. You need to know how much. You need to know the options. We might be able to get the seller to cover some of those. We
Mm-hmm.
might not be able to. They might be all your responsibility. Let us show you the options. That's the
The
conversation.
realtor, that's our script.
That's it.
It's helping your client achieve their goal and explaining very clearly
Period.
what steps are going to be needed to get there.
That's it.
And the agents that do that the best will still be employed, will still have a great job, will still be able to change lives, will still be able to change the legacy for families who are taking on home ownership. And agents that don't do that, that can't figure that out, that can't answer that question, that can't interpret the headlines for the clients, you guys are going to be out of business.
That's it. Communication matters.
That's right. So let's leave it there.
I think so. That
Yeah.
sounds like a good place to leave it.
So understand, from the very top of our country down to all the news media, everything, people are going to get it wrong. And it is your job when asked. You don't need to go on a tirade or a rant. It is your job when asked to set the record straight and ask people, how can I help you in this time of unknown? That's it.
Great point, Aaron. Thanks as always.
DJ,
Appreciate
thanks
you
for
guys
being
for
here.
joining. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
thanks for listening to us again. Like, subscribe, and share if you found this helpful, and
Yes.
comment and engage with us. We'd love to hear it. God bless. Have a great week.
Be
Until
great,
next.
everybody. Talk to you soon.
You've been listening to The Real Impact Show. I'm Aaron Zapata, one of your co-hosts with Don Jacks, the other co-host. We are licensed real estate agents with Real Broker, license number 020222092. Again, we are not your agents, so we're not giving you legal advice. We're not giving you real estate advice, and we're not giving you financial advice. Please seek the appropriate professionals for all of those great things. God bless. We'll talk to you next time.